Afternoon, everyone. Welcome back again for the Spiritual Talk Session 8 in this room 3. So I'd like to begin these sessions by the Spiritual Talk from Dr. Suryanto. He's the president of Indonesian Society of Radiographer Indonesia. He will coming to speak to us. It's our great pleasure to hear his talk on the strength of the radiographer's professional development in Indonesia. If you are ready, please welcome Dr. Suryanto. Please welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Madam. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly an honor for us to stand on the podium of the ISRRT 2022 World Congress to share our experience in developing the radiographer profession in Indonesia. Thank you, Makesh, for joining this meeting, and also all friends who coming here in this session. This is my profile. I'm from the Indonesian Society of Radiographers. Thank you. And this is the outline, my presentation. We talk about the demographic, health improvement services, also the radiology services in Indonesia, a story of PARI, vision and mission, also organizational development and professional development. This is our demographic in my country, Indonesia. Population is more than 273 million, and we know this. You can show this the purple one. This is Indonesia from Sabang to Merauke, from Aceh to Papua. We have 34 provinces, also 514 districts, and number of islands, more than 16,000 islands in throughout Indonesia. We saw this in PowerPoint that the number of hospitals in Indonesia, the trend is increasing, and the Ministry of Health Republic of Indonesia has planned to develop more than 528 existing hospitals in Indonesia for improving services related to 4 diseases that cause highest mortality rate in Indonesia. This being heart disease, stroke, also cancer and renal failure. So we call Indonesia, this is kind of KJSU, cancer, cardiac, stroke, and uronephrology. In Indonesia, the government also concerned how to build the cardiovascular centers. This is more than 267 hospitals throughout Indonesia will build as cardiovascular centers. And this is 10 of hospital, this is a referral hospital for cardiovascular centers. Also, this one is for cancer centers. We have 12 referral hospital in Indonesia, and also the government commit to establish 267 hospitals throughout Indonesia. This is for uronephrology centers. Yeah. Also 12 hospitals for referral hospital, and also the government committed to build 267 hospitals throughout Indonesia from Aceh to Papua for uronephrology centers. This is for stroke center also. This is 6 hospital for referral hospital, and also the government committed to build 267 hospital for stroke centers. So that's why the government provide the cost for this almost $2 billion, yeah, to build this center throughout Indonesia. This is kind of radiology services in Indonesia. It's same with other countries, I think. Have several modalities, kind of conventional X-ray, panoramic and dental X-ray, also mammography, fluoroscopy, and also CT, MRI, ultrasound, yeah. And then interventional radiology, radiotherapy, also PET and CT scan, and bone mineral densitometry, and etc. If the radiology modalities in hospitals such as X-ray is more, it's all about 100%. Hospital has X-ray machine, and CT scan we recorded more than 65% all of hospital, and ultrasound is 100%. This is a lot of number also ultrasound in Indonesia, and MRI there is more than 25% in Indonesia. In our study, we saw that the ratio for MRI units in our country, this is per million is about one MRI for 1 million people. So that is, I think, is very limited MRI still in my country, in Indonesia. We also want to talk about the history about Bali. Yeah. In 1954, this is the graduates of the School of Radiology Assistant. They needed to form a forum. This is Ikatan Assistant Rongsen. They graduated from higher tertiary school, from junior, and then take 3 years in secondary school. And they formed IKASARI. This is a kind of association, and then started from 1946 and 56. I mean, they make a kind of organization. We call it PARI. Yeah. In October 21, 1956. So that's why we always have an anniversary in this state, October 21. And also growing, and in 2011 we rejoining ISRRT. Actually, we already joined in 90 something, and then out, yeah, and then rejoining again in 2011. Yeah, this we joined the membership of ISRRT in 2011, and we inaugurate for the committee member for Bali in 2015. And that time we invite Dr. Napapo to visit us in Jakarta. This is my first period of president. Dr. Napapo witnesses the inauguration of Central Board member in Jakarta. Pari have a vision. We must united and dignified. I think it's quite not easy. I think to unify, yeah, and because the many background of they from many areas from Indonesia, also from the school. So that's why we decide that united is important for us, for the travel in Indonesia. Also dignified. That means that we must have our voice to our government or our partner in Indonesia. And Pari mission, this is togetherness, also welfare, how to improve welfare for the members, and we building friendship for international community. In our Pari, we also have kind of system. This is a membership information system. Yeah, this is developed in 2020. Yeah, we call it Siap Pari. Siap in Indonesia, in English, it means ready, ready to member at Pari. Yeah, this is kind of digital platform, web and mobile application. This is including a membership profile, also information and event schedule, yeah, transaction of payment, also the product of merchandise on the shopping. This is very helpful to our member that they have many kind of information from this application. They can download from mobile phone. Yeah. Also, they can know, yeah, anything information from this application. Yeah, from this application, we know that our member, yeah, of Pari, you can see that the member is based on gender, is almost 19,000 member. Yeah, that our member is ladies is more than men. Yeah, the number of women is higher than men in Indonesia for radiographer. Also, this is we categorize where they work as civil government or at private. In privates more radiographer than in government civil servants. The categories also based on where they work in diagnostic or radiotherapy or in nuclear. Most of them work in radio diagnostic department. This is our distribution of radiographers in Indonesia. Yeah, is in 34 provinces. Yeah, Pari developed information system called Siap Pari to serve the membership services. So we know where's our members is. Even in Papua, we know that in Papua it is 110 radiographers that who serve people in Papua. Also in Aceh, we know that there is 600 radiographers there. So you can count every province every district and every area. Yeah, we know that from our application. We also count the ratio of the radiographers. So based on registration certificate, the number of radiographer is 6.7 per 100 population. So this is still limited. We note that in some area, in Bangkok, Belitung, and Kepulauan Riau, the ratio is higher. Pari also advocate Ministry of Health to make a regulation for better practice and development of radiographers. The legal products such as radiographer profession standards, it is the review. Also radiographers competency standards, also the review. Radiographer practice standards, this is also review. Career path development for for private radiographers, this is new one. And also guarantee program for protection and welfare for private radiographers. This is also new one. And radiographers professional training certification. This is certification, kind of certification issued by the government. This is new one. We also have licensing. We can track before 1988. We no licensing, and then started from 1988 to 2013, licensing by Ministry of Health, and then the license just once for a whole life. So once we have a license, and then so we can practice whole life. Starting from 2014, 2018. Licensing issued by National Board of Health Professional. The license for 5 years and can re-registration. Usually they need 25 CME credits. No national action at that time, just portfolio. But starting from 2018, they must have a national action to get license. Yeah, to get a registration for radiographers. We also have a collaboration with our friends in Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea, 2018 and 2019. Yeah, they support us to MRI education. Yeah, this is president of Taiwan and also president of WHO, yeah, the past president. Yeah. Pari also have a collaboration with other stakeholders. For example, with Indonesian Council of Health Workers, we right now a member of Council of Biomedical Engineering, and also we make a collaboration with Nuclear Energy Regulatory Agency that we contributed the development of Indonesian DRL, diagnostic reference level, especially for radiography, fluoroscopy, CT scan, and diagnostic nuclear medicine. This our council member. This is one team council member consists of 11 subdivision, 11 council. This is council of psychology, nurse and midwife, also pharmacy, public health service, sanitarian, also, and radiographer is part of council technique biomedical or biomedical engineering. We also make a collaboration aspect with vendors. Yeah, we have MOU for certificate and credit point with Siemens and Fuji. Yes. This one, we have MOU signing with vendors. Yeah. And we also Paris, one of Paris program is to have building as office and also used for organizational activities. I will tell everybody here that first step is our board meeting, and we have a board meeting and then appoint a committee to work. And this program is also decided in a national forum to open donation for member of Paris. And the donation is appreciated with 1 credit. Yeah, that can be used for licensing, registration. So after this decision, approximately almost 15,000 radiographers donate. Yeah. And the committee is continue with survey the land place as office candidate. And the house in East Jakarta is decided to be new office for Paris, and the notary process, etc., until renovation is completed, include the interior and exterior finishing. And finally, in 2022, Dr. Napapong came to Indonesia and inaugurated the Paris office. This is a building commitment from all members. Yeah, we just share this 2016. We start to make a commitment with our members, radiographers in Indonesia. And then this is we appointed a committee to responsible to collect the donation, also to make this dream come true, I think. So we appointed a committee. And this is the origin of the Paris office. Yeah, this is in Cipayung, east of Jakarta. So everybody welcome to visit us, our office in Jakarta. And in 2017, we signing sale and purchase binding agreement. We just pay cash, yeah, for this transaction, yeah, in November 2017. Yeah, and then 2018 we more massive for fundraising and also planning the building to renovation of the building. This is the planning of the renovation of the building 2018. This is the process of kind of reconstruction or renovation. Yeah. And also in 2019 we launched the new office at National Workshop Meeting in Medan, North Sumatra. Yeah, this is before COVID. So that's why we have a face-to-face meeting in North Sumatra. And also this reported in News and Views, ISRRT, August 2019. And also this is the first time we use this building for inauguration, Executive Board 2019-2023, is 15th of December 2019. Yeah, this is our member, Dr. Jutapon. Yeah, all committee member. Yeah, and finally in 2020, the head of office Paris is realized. Yeah, with name we call it Graha Paris. Graha means house of Paris. Yeah, home of Indonesian radiographers. We express our appreciation and gratitude for all Indonesian radiographers who have supported for this dream come true. And this is, we are honored, yeah, that Dr. Napapong is pleased to inaugurate Kalapari when it comes on November 11, 2022. Yeah. This the Kalapari consists of third floor. We have 4 rooms, 1 hall, yeah, 1 meeting room, 1 resident room, also pantry and toilets, guest rooms, yeah. We have 14 beds. So everybody, photographer from other province can stay in Jakarta, in this building. This is a guest room, also the meeting room, yeah. Yeah, this is a discussion room, also the bedroom. So anyone, yeah, every photographer can just stay in India. This is hall, yeah, this is the top floor, so we can make a kind of training, kind of education in this hall. Also the dining room and the spot of photo, yeah, the Krak Valley, yeah. Also, we provide a cafe. We call it tomography. Yeah, yeah, the cafe. So if radiographers come and then they need just drink and snack, it's possible to have it. Yeah, this is in the front of the building. Yeah, yeah. When Dr. Napapong came, and then we have a durian party. Yeah. Okay. In this great occasion, I would say thanks to ISRRT, Dona Newman, Mr. Dimitris, also CEO of the ISRRT, and of the Management Board 2018-2022 for all of hard work and contribution to our profession. Then thanks to Dr. Napapong, Dr. Judapong, yeah, who has always supported us, yeah, Pari. Thank you, thanks a lot, Dr. Judapong. So thanks a lot for Indonesian radiographers. We're proud of you. Together we can achieve our mission. Radiographer Indonesia. And also congratulations for Dr. Napapong as new president of ISRRT. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Suryanto, for a wonderful talk. And we just have a beautiful member. And you see that how you strengthened your RT society. I have no doubt because you have fully support from your teams and fully equipped and fully dreaming that you have. But I think it's not dream anymore. I think the dream is come true already, and we see together here. Right? As I guess there's no. Maybe I have questions. What you have said, just the end. When you group together, what's the meaning of that?
Yeah, this kind of yell, right? Yeah, radiographer Indonesia.
Yeah.
Sama is together.
Yeah.
Sejahtera, prosperous, and mendunia globally. We must act globally.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I really love it. It's beautiful. So, as a talker, I'm giving an appreciation for your wonderful speech. May I invite Dr. Yuttapon come on the front and present a token of appreciation to Dr. Suryanto, please. อาจจะเปิดกล่องถ่ายรูปให้หน่อยน้องฝากถ่ายรูปให้อาจารย์ One more picture, please. We are videographer. We make a wonderful picture. Till the end. The picture has to be usable, right? Okay, one more big applause for the facilitator, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for a very, very wonderful talk. Thank you. Yes. So so next time I want to go to Indonesia as well. Yeah. So maybe we have move on to our next sessions for our scientific sessions here. So Dr. Yutapon will be a chair, and I'm gonna be a co-chair for these sessions.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the session. I will share the session. It is a scientific session H, radiation therapy, radiation protection, group number 3. Alright, I will have my co-chair, Dr. Titi, with me, and I think we have five sessions, right? Alright, the latest schedule we have for presentation for this session. So I would like to inform the presenter that we have around 8 to 10 minutes. You can present like 7 or 8 minutes, and we will have 1 or 2 minutes for questions. The first presentation is from Warren from Thailand. Right, with the title of cerebral angiographic procedure using the high KB technique, reduce patient radiation dose during the intracranial aneurysmal diagnostic retrospective and phantom study. Please welcome Kun Warren for his presentation. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry for the presentation. Thank you for her presentation.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and good afternoon, everyone. So, may I introduce myself again? I'm Dr. Warren Kiri Satyakunan from the Faculty of Medicine, Bangkok University, and my presentation today is a part of our project on the optimization of the radiation dose in the neurointervention radiology. So, the topic today is the cerebral angiographic procedure using the high KB techniques, reduce the patient radiation dose during the intracranial aneurysm diagnosis, retrospective study, and a phantom study. So my talk will consist of 5 topics as shown here, and any questions are welcome at the end of my presentation. The intracranial aneurysm is regarded as a main cause of subarachnoid hemorrhage, which is the life-threatening condition, and the diagnosis with the cerebral angiography procedure using the digital subtraction angiography and using the 2-dimensional angiography and 3-dimensional rotational angiographic techniques are the gold standard for diagnosis of the intracranial aneurysm. And this case also are the most common case in our institute. So from our previous study, we found that the radiation dose from the diagnosis of aneurysm in our institute is gradually is gradually increased year by year. And when we compare with the other institute by the same procedure, we have to whether radiation dose than the other institute. So we try to find out the influence factors that cause the increasing of radiation dose. So we found that the changing of the KVP in our procedure is one of the main influence factors that cause the increasing of radiation dose. So we are trying to optimize the radiation dose in the cerebral angiographic procedure in our institute by changing the high QV techniques. So the high QV techniques have been implemented in the cerebral angiographic procedure in our institute since the 1st July 2019 under the supervision of the product specialist and interventional neuroradiologist. So the systematic monitoring and investigation of the radiation dose has not been performed yet. So we think that the monitoring of radiation dose after optimization is important and has been forgot. So this study we aim to determine the effectiveness of the high QV techniques on the reduction of patient radiation dose from the cerebral angiography for aneurysm diagnosis in a retrospective clinical study and also the phantom study. This study we divided into two parts. So the first part is the retrospective clinical study. The retrospective study conducted data from 19 January 2019 to 29 December 2020, which divided into two periods for the low KV and high KV. And the second part is a phantom study, which is an experimental study. We use an anthropometric phantom and another optically stimulated luminescent dosimeter or ISRRT as a tool. Okay, so the cerebral angiographic protocol we use in our institute as shown in this table. And the low KV techniques were set the KV as 70 KV and the high KV techniques were set at the 90 KV. So the KV and the mass in each patient will vary depending on the thickness of the patient head on the working position. And we also use the AEC for control these factors. But the 3DRA and the fluoroscopic technique, we keep constant. We didn't change these factors. For the retrospective clinical study, as we want to compare the effectiveness of the high and low KV, so we also set the inclusion criteria and the exclusion criteria as shown in this slide. So 122 patients, 61 for the low KV and 61 for the high KV were recruited in our study. The data collection from the PAC system, including the angiographic techniques, the number of angiographic images, fluoroscopic time, dose area product, and the reference antenna from all techniques were collected. For the phantom study, we use the same protocol as I mentioned earlier, and we use data from the retrospective study to set and to mimic the condition for phantom study. And then we put the name of the OSRD on the phantom head and also in the area of the sensitive organs, and we perform the cerebral angiographic technique and measure the radiation dose. So we use many statistical analysis to analyze our data as shown in this slide. So for the results, the retrospective clinical study, we found that the KV from the low KV technique and the high KV techniques from both PA plane and lateral plane is significant difference. So when the KV is different, is resulting in the changes or difference of the mass. So the mass is reduced in the high KV techniques. Moreover, we also found that the acquisition time and the total number of images were also a little bit reduced in the high KV technique. So we also use these two factors as a covariate for analyzing the further analysis of the radiation dose. So after we analyze the radiation dose from the low KV and high KV technique, we found that all the radiation dose data from the high QE technique are lower than that low QE techniques. And moreover, from the phantom study, we also found that many areas or many parts of the scalp phantom high QE technique also showed lower radiation dose than the high QE technique showed a lower dose than the low QE techniques. And for the radiation dose at the skin level of the sensitive organ also showed the same trends for the thyroid and the leg ovaries. And this table is demonstrate the radiation dose in phantom study measured by the dark meter from our experiment. So this confirmed that the high QE techniques could reduce the radiation dose for the cerebral angiographic techniques for a cerebral angiographic procedure. And so at the end, I would like to conclude that the high QE techniques in cerebral angiography in our institute for diagnosis of autism provide an effectiveness on the reduction of radiation dose, and the result from the patient radiation dose is associated with the phantom radiation dose. Also, the clinical effect clearly had been verified by our radiologists during the modification, but we find that the assessment of the objective inequality analysis is still necessary, and we plan to further analyze in angiographic inequality and phantom inequality for our further study. The last, I would like to thank you the grant from the Office of Research Graduate Certificate studying from Ghana University, and also express many thanks to the staff of Office of Ophthalmic for Peace for supporting the data collection, and also the Senior Limited for the supervision of the protocol modification and the consultant. And thank you very much for providing me an opportunity to present my research here. Thank you.
I think we have time for the question from the floor. Anyone has a question? Otherwise, I would like to have my one question for the presenter. At first, I would like to sorry for present your name a little bit inaccurate. Sorry about that.
Okay.
And this is very impressive study and result. We learn a lot. But could you suggest how you interpret the result and then send this kind of information to the radiographers at the practice so they know what the technique that they can learn from you?
Okay. So this is a work we work together with radiologists, the radiologists and the radiological technologists who work at our room. So actually, I'm not the one who is the worker in that room. So we work together, and I help them to which factor is important for the optimization, and we try to find out together. And then after we know the factor, we have to work together. The radiologists have to accept the new techniques that we try to use for his patient. So then we got every information and we start to optimize the optimization procedure. So after during the optimization, we have to need the help from the specialist of the senior health team. So everything is not only myself or only the radiologist, not only the radiological technology, but have to work together as a group, and the result is real beautiful, and this can be implemented in the real situation.
Well, thank you very much for your impressive answer, and we can observe that the strong collaboration between the radiographer and radiologist is very important to improve our practice and to be a benefit for the patient. Thank you very much for your great presentation.
Let's move to our next speakers. Our next speakers is from Malaysia. May I invite Mr. Mohammed Safan Armid Fadsil. He's gonna come and present out to us in the title of a quantitative uncertainty analysis in the calibration coefficients of GD0F and TLD100 for absorbed dose measurement to the water in megavoltage photon beam.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So my name is Dr. Muhammad Safwan. I'm from National University of Malaysia. So today I would like to share our research work entitled of quantitative uncertainty analysis in the calibration coefficient of, it's actually a GAT curve. We call it GAT curve. And the LD100 for absorbed dose measurement to water for megavoltage photon beam. So basically, this research work is actually a collaboration between our university, UKM, National University of Malaysia, together with University of Malaysia, University Malaya, and also Malaysia Nuclear Agency. Okay, so what is actually a GAT curve? So what is the acronym for germanium dot cylindrical optical fiber? It's actually a novel fabricated dosimeter, where it's actually a silica-based dosimeter that been introduced, which we fabricate in-house in Malaysia. The aim of fabricating this optical fiber, or we call the dosimeter, the GAT curve, is actually we want to measure the dose, particularly for radiotherapy measurement and also for personal dosimeter. So eventually we already use this dosimeter, we call GAT curve, in small field radiotherapy, electron beam, particle therapy, and also for postal audit dosimetry. So basically the GAT curve having a similar fundamental as a TLD, where it actually require thermal stimulation in order to acquire the signal. So the measurement of the radiation dose coming from the GAT curve is actually very important, especially for the radiotherapy dosimetry system, where we need to quantify the arbitrary unit coming from the GAT curve and convert it into the actual dose. So that's why we need to do a calibration for the relative dosimeter, and then we will get the actual dose. So in terms of converting the unit, so basically that's what we are doing, the cross-calibrating. That's the image of the optical fiber, the raw material for the relative dosimeter, and then we cross-calibrate using the ionization chamber, the gold standard, particularly for the radiotherapy measurement. The thing that we need to remember when we doing the measurement, they always be uncertain in the measurement. So they always be a doubt in the measurement. So that's why this study are we focusing to look into the uncertainty in terms of the cross calibration between the GAT curve with the ionization chamber. And according to IEEA, TRS 398, the uncertainty associated with the calibration chain, along the calibration chain, should not exceed more than 2%. So why it is very important to ensure that the uncertainty is below the 2%? Because we want the traceability and the accuracy of the dosimeter actually being presented in a well manner, so that the truth numbers that being shown by the relative dosimeter, in this case the GAT curve, become the very accurate and precise in terms of the dose monitoring. So our objective, definitely we want to investigate the effect of different experimental uncertainty during the calibration of the GAT curve, and we also make a comparison with the LD100, the lithium fluoride, for the measurement of absorbed dose in water, focusing in the megavoltage photon beam radiotherapy megavoltage beam. So basically the accuracy and the dose will be assessed, and we will evaluate the accuracy in terms of the uncertainty. So how we conduct the experiment? So definitely first we will fabricate the fiber. So it's actually a long process for the fabrication of the optical fiber. So to make it short, that the raw material, and then we need to anneal as the dosimeter, need to anneal to remove the background reading, and also we will put the dosimeter into the IAEA standard capsule. The capsule that being used for the radiotherapy postal audit, After that, we will do the cross calibration for the get cough. We cross calibrate with the ionization chamber using the medical linear accelerator. And then later on, we want to extract the data. We are using the TLD reader to extract the signal coming from the get cough. So the signal that being produced by the get cough is actually in the nanocoulomb unit. So the unit, we will convert that into the gray by multiplying what we call as a calibration coefficient. So this is the configuration how we are doing the cross calibration for the get cough and cross calibrate with the ionization chamber. So first we will irradiate the ion chamber with 2 gray doses for 6 MV and 10 MV megavoltage. And then later on, after we get the actual dose for 2 gray coming from the ionization chamber, we will remove the ionization chamber sleeve, and then we'll put in the TLD holder so that the capsule can be placed at the exact position at the center of the irradiation window for the LIHAC. So that's how we cross calibrate. Everything is the same. The setup is actually under reference condition, which is 10 by 10 field size, SSD 100 cm, and also in 10 cm depth in water. That one is actually the water tank. We fill up the water until the top, and then we replace it with the TLD holder. So in terms of the calibration protocol, we are using technical report series TRS by IEEE 398. And then for the measurement of uncertainty, we are using the guideline by the also IEEE technical document 1585. So we will produce a calibration coefficient, that the symbol N, okay, calibration coefficient for each type of the dosimeter, the get cough, and also in comparison to the TLD. And then the equation for the calibration coefficient determination is actually as follows. So it's actually the sum multiple term of the absorbed dose divided by the signal by the get cough minus with the get reading. So the result that we obtained is actually we managed to get a very positive correlation between the dose delivered, which is actually certified by the ionization chamber, and the TL signal produced by the get cough. So in every measurement for 6 and 10 MV, they show a positive relationship between these two. So in terms of uncertainty, that's what we come back to the main topic. So we are using 2 types of uncertainty, type A and type B. So basically type A uncertainty is actually inherent random from the statistical analysis, where we measure the data and we calculate the standard deviation. Meanwhile, for type B uncertainty is actually it's very subjective. It accounts several systematic effects that coming from the process. So for the type A, it comes from the ionization chamber reading, thermometer reading, barometer, and also the dosimeter reading. And then for type B, it's coming from the calibration certificate, instrument resolution, and also the positioning of the water tank together with the positioning of the dosimeter. So out of everything, we categorize the uncertainty into 3 parameters. The first one is mean TL reading. Okay, the reading of the dosimeter itself is actually is accurate, okay, within plus minus 5%, but still there's some deviation there. And then the second one is coming from the positioning of the capsule and the capsule of the get cough and the TLD. When we position, there's some uncertainty in positioning the dosimeter inside the water. And lastly, the determination of absorbed dose by the ionization chamber. So when we measure the dose by the IC ionization chamber, so there's still plus minus reading from the 2 gray absorbed dose. Okay, so this is the table, the final table. We presenting everything in terms of the uncertainty coming from the get cough and TLD uncertainty measurement. So if you see here, the expanded uncertainty for TLD and get cough is actually 1.46 and 1.52 respectively. So that one for confidence level at 95%. So the highest contributor for the total uncertainty is actually coming from the calibration coefficient of the ionization chamber coming from the IE, which is represent 0.61% out of everything. And then secondly, the thing that we are really concerned about is about the reproducibility reading signal coming from these 2 dosimeter from the get cough and the TLD. So basically, if you see, there's a 3 times higher in terms of variation coming from the get cough as compared to TLD, which means our dosimeter has a very high variations. There are 2 reasons why this, the reason coming behind. The first thing is because the get cough is actually amorphous structure. It's not a crystalline like the TLD. And then the secondly is because the dopant concentration along the fiber is not really uniform. So that's why there are some variation in terms of reading of the dosimeter. So as the conclusion, we conclude that in terms of comparing the LD and the get cough, the uncertainty provided by the get cough is acceptable and also measurable for the dosimetric characteristic. And also those 3% tighten those margin that estimate for the radiotherapy dosimetry we can achieve even by using our novel fabricated dosimeter. So I think that's all from me. So this is my reference for my presentation. So I would like to thank you everyone for your time for hearing my sharing.
Thank you very much. Do you have any questions? Any questions? Maybe a quick questions regarding to your reading reproducibility that might be a little bit higher than TLD. In the future, what you plan to reduce this variation?
Okay, what we are planning to do is actually we will screen our optical fiber in terms of getting those fiber that have a reproducibility within 3%. So it's like a nanodot, we have screen and unscreen. So we will categorize our get cough into these two category. So that means those with the screen parameter, the sensitivity and the accuracy is very high.
Great. Thank you very much once again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I think we have more to come. The next presentation will be from Nigeria, our friends, in the title of Evaluation of a Time-Flight Imaging System for Deep Inspiration Breathhold Radiotherapy Patient Setup and Intrafraction Breathhold Monitoring from Boubacar Awu from Nigeria. Please welcome him.
Thank you very much. My name is Awon Abubakar from the University of Maiduguri, Nigeria. I am presenting a research work titled Evaluation of Time of Flight Imaging System for Deep Inspiration Breathhold Radiotherapy Patient Setup and Intrafraction Breathhold Monitoring. Radiotherapy to the left breast predisposes patient to cardiac conditions such as cardiomyopathy. This is because the heart receives some radiation dose during the treatment delivery, as the heart lies immediately to the breast target volume, which is within the treatment field. Deep inspiration breathhold radiotherapy technique was introduced to reduce cardiac dose. The technique requires the patient to perform deep inspiration breathhold, which pushes the heart away from the treatment field, thereby reducing the radiation dose to the heart. However, poor reproducibility of the breathhold during treatment delivery could result in some target miss, which could compromise treatment success. The objective of this study is to evaluate time of flight imaging system for monitoring breathhold during deep inspiration breathhold radiotherapy. The existing breathhold monitoring method are associated with some limitations. Active breathing coordinator requires the patient nose to be pet, and the patient is allowed to breathe only through the mouth into the device, which cannot be tolerated by some patients. Also, the use of this technique has been recently discouraged due to the risk of COVID infection transmission. Other systems such as surface imaging system like ISRRT and Catalyst, they are very expensive and not available in many centers. Also, the imaging system, optical imaging system, they work based on triangulation working principle, which has some strict requirements. So this study is divided into 2 components. One is evaluation of time of flight imaging system using CBCT, and the second component is using electronic portal imaging device. A total of 13 left breast cancer patients treated using DIPH were included in this study. For the CBCT study, TOF imaging was performed simultaneously with CBCT imaging, first during free breathing, while the second one during DIPH. This is an example, as you can see in figure A, the TOF camera setup in the treatment room. It was mounted on the ceiling, focusing at ISO center, which corresponds to the patient's chest surface position when the patient is set up for DIPH. Figure B shows an example of depth image obtained from the TOF camera, which is used for our data analysis. While figure C is an example of a gray value image obtained from the same camera, which is used for general patient surveillance and also selection of region of interest, because as you can see, it's clear the depth image. We developed an algorithm using MATLAB for patient surface depth extraction from CBCT images, because the TOF camera provides a surface image while the CBCT images does provide only slices. So in order to match the two imaging methods, we developed an algorithm using MATLAB that gives us capability to measure patient chest surface depth from the CBCT image. What the algorithm does first is to display surface rendered CBCT image from our axial slices and also shows the selected region of interest, as you can see on the first figure. The region of interest must match the region of interest selected on the TOF images, as you can see on the second image. The algorithm subsequently measures the patient chest surface depth by measuring from the distance from the tabletop to the patient chest surface. The measurement was performed in each of the pixel columns within the region of interest, and then it moves to the subsequent slice within the region of interest and performs the same measurement. And the depth measurements obtained by this way, they are used to reconstruct the patient surface depth. So this is the patient surface depth obtained from the CBCT image. The next slide shows an example of the surface depth image of the region of interest selected on the CBCT image, and the next one was the corresponding one from the TOF image during deep inspiration breath hold. While the next one shows the CBCT and TOF surface images of the region of interest obtained during free breathing. Chest surface displacement from each modality was obtained as a difference between the depth between the surface image obtained during DIPH and the surface image obtained during free breathing. And these are the example of the chest surface displacement images obtained from each modality. So each image was averaged in order to obtain a single distance value for easy comparison between the TOF measurement and the CBCT measurement. And our result shows that the difference between the TOF and the CBCT measurement was just 2.88 millimeter, and a correlation coefficient of 0.92 was obtained, which is an indication of strong correlation between the two imaging methods. And the next figure shows the result from Blank-Altman analysis, which shows that the level of agreement between the CBCT and the TOF is between minus 7.36 to 1.6. This implies that the differences in measurement between two imaging methods always lies within these limits. The next component of this work was evaluation of the TOF camera using electronic portal imaging device as a reference. The TOF imaging was performed simultaneously with CMA EPIT, that's in real time, during treatment delivery. And the surface depth from the TOF camera was extracted as 10 by 10 region of interest in the central part of the chest, as you can see the illustration there. While from the EPIT image, the depth measurement was obtained as a central long depth, which is a measurement from the posterior field edge to the anterior long border. So these measurements between the two imaging methods were compared, and the correlation obtained from the EPIT and the TOF was 0.83. So in conclusion, TOF camera demonstrated good potential for monitoring breath hold with reference to in-room radiographic imaging system during DIPH. It shows a strong correlation between TOF camera and CBCT imaging system, as well as electronic portal imaging system. Thank you so much.
Any question from the floor for this presentation? Yes.
Okay, I just want to ask. Okay, there is a few questions. The one is, how long does the patient need to hold their breath for this DIBH technique at your place? And the other one is, how do you set a different point for DIBH process? By taking the first question, for each question, before we even do the CT simulation, we normally train the patient in our center to be able to perform breath hold for the duration of 20 seconds. Only if the patient can afford that, then only the patient is qualified to be treated using DIBH. So we give the patient like a procure for training to practice the breath hold at home for 20 seconds for 30 minutes daily, 1 week before the CT simulation. Then we do the CT simulation, and then after the planning, we proceed with the treatment. And then the second question you said about the reference?
For the point.
For
how you put the reference point? How you decide the reference point?
the reference point, I don't get it. What do you mean by reference point? Marker? The anatomical marker during CT simulation? Actually, we are for during CT simulation, we set up the patient in supine position, and then we use the breastboard to position them, abducting them, and then put the arms above the patient head. So we normally put our laser like just like 2.5 centimeter below the inframammary fold. So we now put our CT marker, that's ball bearing marker references, on the lateral side corresponding to the crosshair, and also on the anterior side of the patient corresponding to the crosshair. Yes.
Thank you very much for your presentation. We learned a lot from you. Thank you.
So let's move on to our next speaker of this session today. Next speaker from Nepal. He's going to present the title of evaluations of protective barriers of CT scan room at the Medical College, Chitwan, Nepal. So please welcome Mr. Sushi Gupta. Is he here?
I think he sent up apology for his absence for this presentation. So we have a fruitful presentation in this session. I would like to thank you all for the audience. We learned a lot from the presentation. Also, I want to thank the speaker for a very nice presentation, and we learned a lot from them. Thank you very much. I would like to inform you about Gala dinner cruise. Please, if you have a ticket, please stand by at I think 4 p.m. 4:30 p.m. at the lobby. The bus will be in the parking, the hotel parking, and international guests we will board the bus number 6 through number 13. So please be sure that you board the bus and then come back with the same bus to the hotel. Don't run away. Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy your cruise. Oh, sure. We would like to have a good picture for the presenter and the chef session. Please come forward. Please come forward. Thank you very much.
Dr. Soliato, Dr. Yuto, Dr. Warnanka, Mr. Fasil, yeah, Mr. Uwa.
And channel on the floor channel station.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Indonesia.
Jalan gini biar kelihatan tinggian dikit di itu. Ini cuman gak tahan 2 menit ini.
Masih oke kan?
Masih oke, masih oke, masih kuat. Masih bisa
Oh, mantap sampai naik.
Sampai plafon mas saya. Sampai plafon aja mas. Kapan tampak naik. Yeah. One phone. High city.
Official report.
Ini follower jutaan. HP ini ya. Iya. Bertahap. Live YouTube bagaimana? Live YouTube.
Soalnya tadi udah disuruh bikin pabrik nanti disuruh
Menunya cantik tolong di Satu, dua,
Mas Haji.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
Buat semangat teman-teman.
bapaknya dan diri. Bapaknya jangan situ. Ya, ini kan. Satu, dua, tiga. Oke, sama lagi. Satu, dua, tiga.
Ya, terima kasih.
Sampai jumpa lagi teman-teman di live YouTube. Kita akan berpindah ke lain ruangan. Sampai jumpa.